over the clay area and all the supplies and a little bit about the kiln while I'm at it, okay? So just so you know, all right, the clay station, the clay unit, you do need to do this by a certain date, so you do need to check to see when this unit needs to be done to be fired, okay? If you do not have your clay ready to be fired, it will not be fired, okay? So what happens is that clay goes through a couple of stages. So if we kind of look up here, all right, so clay goes in a couple of stages up here. When we work with it, all right, it tends to be in this first one, green ware, all right. It tends to be still workable, never been dried, all right. After that, we have to wait until what's called bone dry. This is when it becomes very brittle. So once you're done with your project, you do not want to touch it. Once it's on the shelves, it's the end. You don't touch it anymore, okay? After that, it'll become bisqueware. It is fired. It becomes very chalky and kind of hard, okay? After that, you glaze it, goes in for firing again, and it becomes glazeware, which is the stages that we're gonna be doing. What you're gonna find here is a water station, okay, and tools, all right? When you are working with the clay, all right, no matter how much residue, even if it's partial hands, you must use the station. You cannot use the regular sink to wash your hands, all right? The reason being is that clay settles, okay, to the bottom of the pipes, and then what happens is they get clogged. So you may not wash your hands, okay, directly in the sink in the back, okay? They have to almost be pre-washed here. Once your hands are completely free of any residue, okay, and feeling like there's nothing on them, okay, even if you're like, oh, I just touched it. No, there's residue, okay? It has to be clean of everything. Then you can go and wash them in the back, all right? Yes, you may use the lotion, absolutely fine. Okay, how does this look like when it's set up? All right, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need one of these tablecloths, okay? The tablecloths are here. There's only a few of them, all right? So my suggestion is when you do this unit, you might want to do it with someone, okay? So you can use the whole table. So we have the tablecloth that goes down. Next is your table mat, all right? Why do I do two things? Because this causes a lot of dust, okay? Causes a big, huge mess. And you don't wanna have to wipe down the table. I'd rather have them brushed off, okay? So one thing that you're gonna find, yes, the dust, okay? I do not want you to throw the clay. I don't want you, brushing it all over the place and making a big mess, all right? So this is kind of like the general setup that you need to have. Tools and other things that you'll be working with. So the tools, as you can see, are kind of divided out, okay? We have scrapers, great for pulling things off. We have rolling pins, different textures. This is called slip, okay? You will be learning this in the next video, okay? So there are plenty here. On the bottom here are a couple different things that you'll see. So we have the setup, all right? Underneath is clay. If it ever gets low, all right, please let me know. I'll fill it back in. You will learn about the turntables as well. Now in regards to the clay, please make sure that it's always damp, okay? If you are the only person using the clay, please, after you're done, I would like you to fill in with some water, okay? You just spray it, all right? Because what happens is it dries, all right? Now, a couple other things. Under here are bags. You're gonna store your not finished projects in these bags, okay? When you are, for now, normally, yes, I would say store your projects across the room on the shelf, but I think I prefer you to probably store them you know what, for now, let's set it up on this shelf, okay, on the bottom shelf. So after it's been done, finished projects go on the top two shelves, okay? Those are actually 3 examples of completely finished, fired pieces of artwork, okay? So the bottom shelf is for unfinished, you're still working on it, needs to be covered, still in the bag, okay? We'll go on there. That will be moved so you have more space. Top are for dried projects, period, okay? Once they're on that shelf, you do not touch them, okay? You do not come over, you do not need to check on it, you don't need to move it. Start with the back, put your stuff in the back, okay? And then we'll work up, okay? What's gonna happen is they're gonna become very, very brittle and I do not want them breaking, okay? Now back here, all right, is the kiln. All right, a couple of things about the kiln. Sorry, my bucket's in the way. Is that it needs to go through 2 different firings, okay? Inside, let me see if I can open this up. Yep, there we go. Hup. All right, so right now you're going to see the little stands in there because I forgot to clean them out, okay? Pretty heavy door, all right, and it goes in here. So what happens is the first firing goes for 12.5 hours, okay? It gets up pretty high, almost close to 2,000 degrees, okay? It's very hot. When it's on, normally I put it on overnight, or I might put it on during the day, so it can be ready for the following day. It takes about 24 hours to cool, okay? Which is pretty cool. All right, and when it's on, this area, okay, back here is closed off. You're not allowed to be back here. So that's the first firing. The next one is the second firing for the glaze. That's about 7.5 hours. That one's more like 1,800, and that takes 24 hours to cool too, okay? So, and this area is closed off when that is the case. Okay, so that's a little bit about the clay area. Do not forget, okay, that when you work with this stuff, all right, make sure that you're washing your hands. So even if I have like, let me hold something, okay, that's residue, okay? I can tell when it's on, all right? All of this, and then you're like, oh, I didn't barely even do it. No, please wash your hands. My suggestion is this brush, okay? Take this, run it over your nails, run it over your hands. I know it's a little, hard, but it cleans it so fast, okay? Periodically, we may need to empty out this bucket, which is fine. If this actually empties out, please fill it, okay? That's the kind of thing they do. I have a line on where it needs to be filled, okay? And that's pretty much it for the clay station area.